Hi, I got back from the cinema earlier from watching Jackass Forever, the latest in the series of unscripted stunt and prank comedies spun off from the early 2000s TV series. This film is very much more of the same, with Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, Chris Pontius, various other members of the team, now joined by a new, younger intake, given that they started this 20 years ago, for a new series of bizarre pranks and stunts. Um, a speedball with someone's testicles, locking someone in a dark room and pretending that there's a deadly snake in there, um, tricking someone into having a spider walk all over their face, um, firing someone into a ceiling while they're dressed as an old person. All stupid, ridiculous, and childish. And nevertheless, I laughed all the way through. I laughed more at this than I've laughed at a comedy probably since the previous Jackass movie came out. It clashes somewhat with my often highbrow tastes, but I've enjoyed Jackass enormously ever since it first started. There is a wholesomeness to it, which is very endearing, despite the levels of animal semen that gets drunk or thrown at people, the testicular damage, the things inserted or fired in other people's bottoms. There's always a charm and a warmth of this gang of overgrown adolescent hooligans just having a laugh with each other. Just it's all taken in good fun. There's never any maliciousness behind it. It's all just fun and games until someone loses an eye, and then they make a joke about losing an eye, as in this film, where Johnny Knoxville, who's been injured more times than Evil Knievel, um, apparently was injured on the first day when he was trampled by a ball and broke his wrist and a rib. Um, there's no story to it. It's just a loose structure of gags with no real supporting artifice to it. But it is tremendously funny, and as I said, it's there's a family sense to it. These people genuinely like spending time with each other. They like messing around with these pranks. The most dangerous ones are always not really that dangerous, even if it's pranking each other by zapping each other with a taser when they're not looking. Um, and there are moments when there are concerns that people really are genuinely badly hurt, and all the larking around stops immediately. Everyone goes and checks to make sure that whoever is hurt is okay, like as Knoxville was taken off to hospital, and we later see him being wheeled out with his arm in a cast. Um, where where he bemoans that the stunt went wrong because he was supposed to do a magic act beforehand and it didn't work. Um, but it's a film that's had surprisingly strong reviews, given how the previous films had been slated for being adolescent and childish, and pe- people have assumed that they should be more than that. Why should they? It's people messing around, playing jokes on each other. What could be more charming and wholesome than that? The fact that the jokes involve damaging each other's testicles or throwing horse semen at each other is not really neither here nor there. Um, and I think taken with that kind of mindset, that it's just a bunch of friends goofing around, it's tremendously enjoyable and tremendously entertaining. I laughed all the way through. I had a fantastic time, as did the rest of the audience, and I couldn't recommend it highly enough.